Life is filled with daily challenges that start the moment we wake up, or rather in this case, when we don't. We love the idea of getting better and changing our ways, yet when push comes to shove, we find ourselves clicking that snooze button again and again. So the question then becomes, how do we make this ideal change in our lives in a way that makes it consistent and last long term? And the funny thing is, the answer lies in the games that we play. So this video will be going through exactly that, the fundamental understanding of making permanent change, the ways that games use this to influence our actions, and finally, the blueprint that I use so that you can actively make this change in your life as well. So if you're ready, let's play a game. If we want to start looking at how to make lasting change, we first need to understand how we think and learn. Going back to our childhood and our basic biological adaptation techniques, the most effective way that we learn is through play. As cited by Skeen in one of their more recent journals, play is the primary vehicle for human learning and brain development. Looking at when we're younger, we sing songs to learn language and how to speak. We go play games and kick balls to understand how our body moves and what we're capable of. All the while, we develop understandings of ourselves and what that means going forward. We learn what we like, we learn what we don't like, we learn what we're good at, we learn what we're bad at, and these understandings become rules, the rules of our identity. The reason you still hate waking up early in the morning is not because you have a lack of discipline or understanding of how to do it, but rather because your identity is still that of not a morning person. The rule you've created is stating that you do not wake up in the morning energized and ready to go. So we try and rely on external fixes. We go, okay, if I wake up early, I can go to the coffee store and have a nice coffee before I have to go to work. We also rely on the stick in the carrot mentality, where the stick itself is, oh God, if I don't wake up, I'm gonna be late and I'm gonna be fired from my job. And these may work for a time, right up until they don't. Then the whole house of cards comes falling down underneath you. So what we need to do instead is flip it. We need to stop looking at the external motivation and rather start looking at the internal identity. Let's use the example that you've been smoking for the past 10 years and are ready to stop. If you go in with the mentality of, I am trying to quit, then chances are you are more likely to relapse and go back to the old ways. Rather, if you actually start identifying as, I am no longer a smoker, then you are more likely to stick with the idea of the change you are trying to implement. At a basic level, the actions that we do are congruent with the identity that we create. And when I was looking into this, one of the more interesting ones that caught my eye recently was that of the Proteus effect. In a collection of studies done by Yi and Bailenson, and I apologize if I got those names wrong, they had a series of experiments where they had people create digital avatars, and in that, defining what their character was. Some made attractive characters, some made ugly characters. Some made tall characters, some made short characters. And the interesting thing comes when you start to see the effects that those avatars had on the way they were acting. And as the study showed, if you created a more attractive character, you were more likely to be personable and warm. Likewise, when they got the characters to start negotiating to see what type of agreement they can come to, those who chose the taller and more imposing characters were actually more aggressive and effective when it came to the very negotiations they were talking about. Likewise, if you chose one of the smaller characters, you were more likely to agree to a less favorable negotiation to the point of actually taking more of a detriment in regards to that negotiation itself. And here's the real kicker. Right after doing this experimentation, they took the players out of the game and put them in a real life negotiation as well. And the traits of the characters they had in the virtual space actually carried through to the real life example as well. There was a time after when they still identified as that character where these traits were consistent with the actions they were taking. The embodiment of this character that they had chosen actually carried over into reality and the way they were acting. So my question then becomes, what if we try and set up these characteristics and gamified elements in our real life? Let's frame this like a tabletop RPG, like D&D. See, when you play these games, you have a character that you start to develop. In order to actually play the game, you need the character. So you figure out their stats, their race, their class, all of these different elements, the things that they're aspiring to, the things they're good at, things they're bad at, everything that encapsulates that as a character. These beings are insanely capable. They are doing things on a world scale that changes everything. And yet all the while, they are still avatars of actions that you are choosing, of intention that you have decided to follow alongside. I know I personally have played a variety of characters, and many of them have had aspects that started to blend into my real life as well. Their aspects have become my reality. I have characters that have made me more assertive. I have other characters that have made me more empathetic and understanding of how to communicate my emotions. All the while, these characters have allowed me to experiment and, most importantly, play around with the idea of a new identity in a safe environment. They allow me to test whether or not this certain identity trait is something that I want to take and move into my real world. They allow me to shape who I want to be in this real reality by allowing me in that safe area to experiment and play. And the best thing about all of this is that you can also do this by yourself. All you need to do is follow 3 basic steps. The first step is identifying your ideals. Start by identifying 3 to 5 characters that you admire. These can be from reality, these can be from fiction, whatever it is. Pick 3 to 5 characters that embody elements that you would like to then embody yourself. Once you have them, write their names next to each other, and then underneath them, write various traits about them that you admire, traits that you would also like to have in your very own life. Then when you have these, look at these lists. What are the common traits that you're finding in all these people that you actually want to be accountable to? Is it a case of being competent in your actions that you're taking? Is it their dedication to a cause and the amount of discipline they have to actually achieving that goal? Is it that the character feels warm and they have a good, funny attitude about life and are open to communicating with people around them? Whatever it is, identify what these key traits are that are common between all of these characters, and then write out a list that you want to achieve. This list of things that is going to craft your next identity. This then leads into step 2, which is crafting your avatar. If you ever read The Alter Ego Effect, you'd be aware of the concept of people creating these identities and different people that they can step into when they feel like they need to act in a way that is not in accordance with who they are. People like Beyonce having crafted Sasha Fierce, people like Kobe having crafted the Black Mamba. These entities that are outside of themselves that they then choose to become in order to achieve what they want to achieve. Now, in order to make this feel less confronting, I have gone the route of making it feel like a TTRPG character. See, if it is a character in a game that I am well aware of, I feel safe in, I can start going, okay, these elements and these traits, do they feel more like the barbarian who is going to be headstrong and going straight towards the goal that they want to be doing? Are they going to be precise in their execution like a rogue would be? Are they choosing to be more warm and open with people like a bard would be when he's trying to sing songs for the tavern? By comparing these classes and the different traits that I identified in the first step, I can start to create a more holistic idea of the character that I want to be creating. From there, I start creating the character. I give them a name, I give them an identity, I give them the race, the class, whatever it is, the different traits that make up this character. I start trying to identify questions like, are they the type to be headstrong and go into things first, or are they going to be standing back, thinking about every analysis, and then going through and making their action with precision? Even more simple questions like, are they the first person to jump into the dungeon, the press the red button type character? Once I have these answers, I start developing this more well-rounded character that I can feel more competent in stepping into. That then leads into the third step, which is simply stepping into that role and playing that character. I will note, you don't need to start introducing yourself to everyone again as Lord Chiron, sixth of his name, ready for the throne. But to yourself, see what it is like to play that character. When you reach a struggle of action or decision, think about it. Play the role of that character. What would they be doing in this moment? And then do that thing. If you are going to be that character, you need to act like it. And the more you act like it, the more aligned you are with the identity of that character as well. And once again, stealing from the alter ego effect, if you need help getting into this character space, create a totem. Start wearing a ring or listening to a very specific song. From there, start to figure out these things that can help you slip into that character, and anytime you feel yourself slipping out, you can just focus on. If it's a ring, you can start rubbing your finger across it. If it's a song, play it on loop so it's always consistently there as the background noise to your new identity. These totems act as enforcers to make sure that you don't jump out of it too quickly and keeps you in that moment. That way you can start living through the identity that you've created to better yourself and achieve the goals you want to achieve. So before you stop watching this video and click on the next one, I want to issue a challenge. Go down to the comments below and write one trait of one of these people that you aspire to be like. I'd love for the comments below to be a cavalcade of different personality traits and things that we can aspire to and then collectively be working towards. And while you're down there, if you're looking for more help trying to understand this gamified reality mentality and how to actually implement it in your life, there is a link to the 2-week tutorial, a series of 14 daily emails that go through this idea of gamifying your life so that you can live a better, more impactful and engaging life that helps you achieve the things you want to achieve. These emails are a free thing that you receive every day that will give you insights towards the world of gamification, and then a quest you can actively do that day and help to move towards the goals. And with that, I have nothing more to impart to you. So go along your journey, and I shall see you in the next video.